I finally made it to Yosemite National Park. This solo camping trip will be centered around the Tioga Pass region of the park, which closes from November to July. The drive from Yosemite Valley to Tioga Pass takes about 1 hour and 30 minutes. So definitely be prepared for a long but extremely beautiful drive through the mountain range. This is the food that I prepared for my entire trip: sausage, onion, stuffed bell peppers. At the end of this trip, I was sick of this food. I am absolutely fascinated with historical homesteads. Here is one preserved by the National Park Service. This homestead used to house the early travelers of Yosemite. My first stop in Tioga Pass was Tenaya Lake. I wanted to go on a nice, easy walk to stretch my legs after a really long drive being cramped up in my car. Tenaya Lake has a trail that goes around the entirety of the lake. I would definitely recommend this trail for families with children. It is a very easygoing trail that offers great views of the lake and the beautiful surrounding Yosemite landscape. The luckiest duck in the world. Lake Tenaya, Yosemite Tioga Pass. I stayed at Porcupine Flat Campground in the Tioga Pass region. My campsite neighbors were singing old-timey Yosemite-style songs during my dinner. It made for a great atmosphere and a truly authentic experience. Before heading to bed, I saw a boulder near my campsite and decided to climb it. I saw a tree growing in between two rocks. This tree really shows the amazing adaptability of nature. Good morning, everybody. I am headed to the Clouds Rest trailhead. I slept in a little more than usual because I didn't sleep at all on the way here. Driving here, I slept like 2 hours to get to Yosemite. My brain was trying to make it up, but let's go hiking. The Clouds Rest trailhead starts around Tenaya Lake, the place I was at yesterday. It is a 13-mile total hike out and back. Going off trail sometimes leads to some really amazing views. Just be careful not to step on any of the vegetation that's growing. The steep incline on this hike begins a couple miles into the trail, and it gets really tough if you're not in hiking shape. Be very mindful of the elevation gain. This hike climbs more than 3,000 feet in elevation. It is not an easy hike by any means. Come prepared and physically train beforehand. There is a lake right here, a high elevation lake. One of my biggest fascinations. I wonder what lake this is. I'm about to find out. You can see Tenaya Lake all the way in the background. Getting closer to the summit, I spotted a small forest fire. At the summit, the view of Half Dome is absolutely stunning. The sun is setting, and sadly, I have to head back to Tenaya Lake. I spotted some sooty grouse. This is the first time I ever seen this animal in person. There was a whole pack of them. The Yosemite sunset sky was this beautiful lavender purple. Night quickly fell, and I had to hike back in the dark. I stayed another night at Porcupine Flat Campground at another campsite. This campsite was much more secluded than my last one. While I was brushing my teeth outside, a bear came arm's length right past me. It was a crazy experience I will never forget. Good morning, everybody. I slept in a little bit longer as usual. I wanted to get some more sleep because after this Yosemite trip, I'm going to be headed to Pinnacles National Park. I'm going to be driving there in a couple hours after I hike this Cathedral Lakes trail. I'm really looking forward to this trail. I have all of the maps downloaded and the trail downloaded on my phone. I have extra chargers. I'm all prepared. I have sunscreen on. I ate. I have snacks. I have food. All prepared. So let's go hiking. Can't forget sun protection. I have this hat from Hawaii. Check it out. The Hanalei Liquor Store. My favorite liquor store on the island of Kauai. They have the best selection out of every place in Hawaii. I'm not gonna lie, I went to a brewery in Hawaii and in Kauai specifically, and it was not that good. It wasn't that good. Maybe it's because I'm from California. I'm spoiled with the great craft beer around here. The Cathedral Lakes Trail is 9.5 miles out and back with 1,663 feet in elevation gain. The trail splits off at the end, and you can go to Lower Cathedral Lake or Upper Cathedral Lake. I decided to go visit both. I made it to Lower Cathedral Lake. I found a beautiful, secluded spot to enjoy my lunch in peace.
I prefer solo hiking for many, many reasons, but the main reasons are that I only ask myself a couple questions. Do I want to go? And am I prepared to go? And that's it. Other human beings are a lot of other variables that you cannot control. And when you're more reliant on yourself, you can accomplish things that you can't accomplish with other people, and you experience things on a spiritual level that you can't experience with other people. Now, I have purple, bruised up toes on both feet from Cloud's Rest yesterday, but I know that I prepared. I know that I trained, and I know that I'm willing to push through the pain. That's why I like solo hiking.
This is the beautiful Cathedral Peak. I then made my way over to Upper Cathedral Lake.
Now, hiking alone, camping alone, adventuring alone does not always mean that you are lonely. I have a lot of people ask me that. Don't you think it would be more fun if you had a lot of people to go with you? Don't you ever feel lonely when you're by yourself? Arthur Schopenhauer said it best. He said a quote along these lines: "A man can only truly be himself as long as he is alone. If a man does not love solitude, he will not love freedom." And that quote is very important to me. And I think he explains it best. When you're alone, you are in your own thoughts, you are in your own life, and you are in your own perspective. It is really valuable to take that time alone in solitude to really understand yourself and look inward.
Finishing the trail, I was greeted by Tuolumne Meadows. Driving the rest of Tioga Pass, I stopped by the Dana Fork. It was time to say goodbye to Yosemite and head over to Pinnacles National Park.